Hey, what's up, everybody? Just wanted to come on here real quick and talk about the fight coming up in a couple days. We got Alexis Rocha versus Raul Curiel. Alexis Rocha trains out of Santa Ana. His trainer is Hector Lopez. He's got a couple losses, 25 wins. Raul Curiel, they've already fought once. Raul Curiel has moved from Freddie Roach over to Robert Garcia in Moreno Valley. So they've already had a couple fights together, I believe. They already fought once. So this is going to be the rematch. I believe it was a draw. This fight is promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. The main event is Manny Flores, Joel Diaz fighter. This fight is not at the Fantasy Springs. It's on Friday in a couple days. It's at another venue a little bit before Indio. I think it's in technically Rancho Mirage. So we got that coming up in a couple days. Like I mentioned, the main event is Manny Flores. His nickname is Gucci. He's from Indio. He's trained by Joel. He is fighting Jorge Chavez from San Diego. I believe that's a rematch as well. Uh, Golden Boy has been doing a lot of promotion on their social medias, so I've been watching a little bit of it. I went to see Alexis Rocha. Well, I bought a ticket to see Virgil Ortiz in LA in 2022 when he was scheduled to fight McKinson, and I think that was in the middle of Virgil figuring out this thing that he had with rhabdomyolysis, and his fight got canceled. So Alexis Rocha moved into the main event against Blair the Flair Cobbs. I have some footage from that fight. I'll be putting that up later on my channel. I might be putting it on another channel that I have. Um, Pretty good footage. I got footage of the knockout. The corner threw in the flag, and then the ref didn't see the flag, but he stopped it anyways. And the crowd was going crazy there at, I believe it's pronounced the Galen Center, the Galen Center, something like that. Galen. It's there on the USC campus in Los Angeles. I don't know if it's technically downtown Los Angeles, but it's pretty close. If not in downtown, it's pretty close. That was in March of 2022, March 19th of 2022. I'll be putting up some fight footage of that. I got some fight footage on Landscape, so it'll come out not necessarily on the shorts, but it'll be some coverage of that event there from my seat. Um, Joel Diaz not only has the main event with Manny Flores, he has two other fighters. He has Ruslan Abdullayev. I think he's like 3-0. He's a Eastern European fighter, and then he has another guy who I think is 6-0, Caden Griffiths. So Toño and Joel have three fighters on that fight card on the 16th. That's Friday. It's in Palm Desert, so it's not in Rancho Mirage. It's actually in Palm Desert. And then on Saturday, there's a collaboration between Robert Garcia Promotions and I think it's called House of Pain Promotions, House of Pain, Southern California, and they got a pretty nice card there in at the Soboba Casino right there in Hemet. And Chop Chop, sounds like Chop Chop, Albert Gonzalez will be the main event. Anthony Cuba will be on there. Luis Coria, not to be confused with his, I believe it's his cousin. Uh, uh, Louis Coria turned pro last year. He's been an amateur with RGBA for a few years, and he turned pro last year in Tijuana. I believe he's either 2-0 or 3-0, so he's going to make his U.S. debut. Luis, he goes by Junior Coria. He has the same name as his cousin, I think, who was also a fighter who just retired last year. He suffered a bad loss versus Jesse Magdaleno, if I'm not mistaken. So Louis, no, not Louis, Junior Coria will be making his U.S. pro debut on there. They're at the Soboba. And then following that, the following week, RGBA was going to have some fighters in Long Beach. Art Barrera will be there. Anthony Saldivar, another fighter that pro debuted last year. His nickname is Bolo. His name is Flavio Burgueno, I believe. It goes by the nickname Bolo. And Leo Rubalcaba. Leo Rubalcaba lost his O last year. Him and two other fighters from RGBA lost their O's. I'm going to make a prediction that RGBA has a total of 100 fights in 2026. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw this, but ESPN, I saw something that ESPN awarded Robert Garcia Trainer of the Year. I already know Sports Illustrated awarded him Trainer of the Year. We're just waiting for the Ring Magazine, which I think is connected to the Boxing Writers Association, BWAA. But I saw something yesterday on X, aka Twitter, that ESPN named Robert Garcia their Trainer of the Year. So that'll be interesting. I'll do some as soon as I get off of here. I'll jump on Twitter or on X, and I'll see if I actually find that post. As some of you may know, most of you probably don't know, I keep track of Robert's track record of his fight record per year. He had 75 wins. He had 7 losses, 1 draw, 1 DQ, and 1 no contest. His biggest wins were with Bam versus Cafu, which I believe was on the Boots undercard in Philadelphia. Bam versus I'm drawing a blank. Bam. I'll go back to it. Virgil fought Madrimov. That was one of the biggest fights, top 3 fights for RGBA. And then Virgil ended the year by stopping Lubin, and he stopped him pretty early. Bam's second fight was, his first fight was with Cafu. And I'm drawing a blank on who he fought next. All right, I'll get back to it. But those were the two Bam fights, 2 Virgil fights. I believe last year Rayo lost early in the year. I think he lost in either February and March. The losses were 7. I don't know if I have those memorized off the top of my head, but Rayo was one. Jose versus Devin Haney was another. Leo Rubalcaba lost his O. Dan Cortez lost his O. There's one more fighter who lost his O. And then there's 2 more other losses in there somewhere. So 75 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest, and 1 DQ. The DQ is Tashiro in Tijuana. I'm going to try to keep track of Joel Diaz and Manny Robles' track record this year. Like I just mentioned earlier, Joel and Toño have 3 fighters on Friday in a couple days. So I'll start keeping track of that. He has another fighter on that same Long Beach card that Robert's on with 4 of his fighters. Joel has Tito Sanchez, which is the main event. So I'm going to do my best. Hey, what's up, Bruce? Bruce Gasolina. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. I'm at that 8-minute mark. I heard another content creator, my friend Dubs, say that 8 minutes is the ideal time to come on here. I just wanted to stay on here real quick, talk about a little bit about the fights that are coming up. And then in January 24th, Robert Garcia has Ray Murataya, the IBF lightweight champion, defending his title versus the Cuban Andy Cruz. So that's the news that I got for all the upcoming fights. Obviously, one of the most the hottest topic right now is why isn't Virgil and Boots signed already? Oscar De La Hoya got on his social media accounts and gave a 24-hour notice to Eddie Hearn of Matchroom that it's either a 60-40 split or they're going to move on. After that, Oscar said he moved on. Then Rick Merigian, who is Virgil's promoter, got on his social media and said, we are not moving on. Negotiations haven't even started. We still want that fight. A perfect example of why the Muhammad Ali Act should stay intact, and a perfect reason. It's a slippery slope. It's a very confusing. Most fighters have managers, but the promoters sometimes use their weight to push them around. But here's a perfect example of Rick standing up for Virgil and saying, we want the biggest fights. We want the fights with the most money out there, and we're not going to move on. We want to fight. We want this fight. Send me who from Matchroom I need to speak to, and that's going on. The thing that social media, and I don't know how much accuracy this has. I don't know. Golden Boy hasn't re-signed with DAZN. So maybe Oscar's using this as leverage, saying, hey, I'll get you this fight, but you got to give me another $500 million for a budget for a year and a half or 2 years or 6 months, something. Give me something, and maybe he's using that as leverage. So they both use each other. Obviously, it's the manager's job to get the fighter the most money that he can, every single fight that he can, and that's a tricky negotiation, because you're not only are you negotiating with another team, you're negotiating against your own promoter. You're trying, when you have this much knowledge, and Rick Meridian made his bones, how we say it, made his bones in the boxing game with Jose Ramirez. So he knows a lot of inside information. He knows how much fights are worth. He knows how much his fighters should be getting, and if the promoters ever try to short stick their own fighters, then the manager's there to have the fighter's best interest. So it's very complicated. I know that that Golden Boy, in my opinion, I don't know. I haven't read enough, but with the information that I've read so far, I don't believe that Oscar's using it to get a bigger deal with DAZN or to get another deal. I think Oscar is perfectly fine going somewhere else, or even having his fights on YouTube, or even exploring this deal with Prime. I think the Al Heyman. The Al Heyman comments, I think Oscar's putting out there because he knows Al Heyman won't respond. So he's kind of using Al Heyman's name and Fundura and Errol Spence's names in order to make Matchroom think that Virgil has other options. Now, I'm not beyond that. It could actually be true that they could make those offers to those people. Obviously, he made an offer to Lubin, and that was their last fight for Virgil, but obviously Al Heyman doesn't have a publicist, and he doesn't really make a lot of public statements. So I don't know how much weight that carries. We'll find out in the future how much of all that is true. Rick doesn't hold back. He lets you know on his social medias exactly where he's at, and I think the manager. I think Rick's biggest role is that he gets to be the bad guy. Virgil gets to stay in the gym, stay training, focus on what his job is, and Virgil Sr. gets to stick to training his son alongside bringing in the best trainers like Robert Garcia and Hector Beltran. But it's Rick's job to make Virgil as much money as he can, especially after that scare 3 years ago when he was dealing with that rhabdomyolysis. And I'm going to put out some footage. I have some footage of that Alexis Rocha fight. So I'm going to put that out. Look out for that. If I knew how to put links in here, I'd probably put links in here on this video of some stuff that I already put up on a smaller channel that I have in terms of the knockout of Alexis Rocha versus Blair, the Flair Cobbs. All right, I've been here a little bit longer than I wanted, but it's important to go over the schedule. It's important to talk about news. My condolences for Anthony Joshua and his two friends that he got in that tragic accident. Peace be with you, my friend. And then we'll catch you guys on the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.